All right, good morning and welcome to the big story on Daybreak Live, exclusively on Dominion Television, where we spotlight the headlines that matter and the stories shaping our nation. I'm your host, Samson Balogun. On today's edition, we turn our focus on a bold move by the Oyo State Government that has stirred both curiosity and conversation. The procurement of 2 aircraft to bolster the state's security architecture. What does this mean for the fight against insecurity? And how significant is this investment for the people of Oyo State? Again, I am Samson Balogun. Thank you for joining us. Now, security remains a fundamental responsibility of government. And in an era where threats to lives and livelihoods have grown more sophisticated, state governments are now taking proactive steps to bridge the gaps. In Oyo State, the recent acquisition of 2 surveillance aircraft marks a significant milestone, not just in logistics, but in political will and strategic governance. This development, however, has sparked mixed reactions. While some commend the foresight of the Makinde-led administration, others question the cost. 7.7 billion naira is a lot of money. The operation plan and the long-term impact. Today we engage the facts, dissect the implications, and ask questions that matter. Is this a turning point for security in the Southwest, or just another political headline? Good morning once again. I have with me in the studio this morning Honorable Omolaja Adeoye. With him, we'll be making sense of trending stories and, of course, the recent acquisition of aircraft by the Oyo State Government. Honorable Omolaja Adeoye, good to have you in the studio.
Good morning, Samson. Good morning, viewers at home. Good morning for having us on the studio today. And how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Thank you very much.
You look fine too.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the state of security in Oyo State. As a resident of the state, how would you rate the current situation in Oyo State in terms of security? We are not comparing now. We just want to rate the administration, this administration on security in Oyo State.
I will commend the administration, but not only the administration, because when you are talking about the security, it is not only meant for the government. It is done by the people. It is how you are going to be able to observe your community, what comes in and what is going out. You are going to be able to monitor the movement of the people. And that is what the residents of your state have been doing. They have been getting alert, and they have been watching every move that whatever that is going on in your state. So I will commend the resident of your state, and I will rather say at least thank you to the government as well.
Okay, you want to say thank you to the government. Recently, we have had some cases of kidnaps, in a few cases of kidnaps, and also firmer herder crisis in some areas. There was a time this issue had happened in Ibarakwa, where so many people lost their lives, and there were attacks. There were some arrests in the long run. But then, some people in the state still feel they can be safer than they currently are in the state. So how would you rate how has the government been proactive enough when it comes to security in the state, or they have been reactive? What would you say about that?
Seriously, I will tell you what happened in the past before. It is more political intent, more than the way we see it. And the beauty part of it, you talk about it, Barakwa, I love the way you said it, because then, after that, we have not been having any other kind of security blemish in your state again, because that particular time when they were saying it, and I know that the Oyo State government is blaming the federal government, but by the time he went to Abuja to see Buhari, then he knew what he had. Because how are we not going to be commending the federal government? They are giving what every state and local government deserve when we are talking about how to be able to mop up and secure your state. That is why they are giving all the security vote that are being given to the state at every point in time and every month. And I know our governor was asked, what is he doing with it? And since that time, we have not had any kind of ulabola about security problem in our state as well. It makes me to be happy, and it gladdens my heart to hear that, because I know it is generated because of politics, and now that it has died down. I am not saying we cannot get entire security immune. No community can be entirely immune from the security problem. Because who committed all these erroneous crimes? They are the people. You can hear what Solido said as of recent. He said 99% of kidnapping, killing, is being done by the resident. It's being done by the indigent. And you know this is electoral time. It's being genuine. It's not being political. He doesn't want to lie to the people because he wants to hear their vote. He's just telling the truth. We don't need to be stigmatizing a particular ethnic group when we are talking about security challenges and problems. Because we need to secure ourselves. We need to be watchful. Who is coming in to our community? Who are those people that are going out? And we must question their wealth as well. Because if you don't question their wealth, when we have any problem, we have ourselves to blame.
You mentioned that insecurity in some part of the country are politically motivated.
I would say I can be able to tell you boldly in Oyo State. And even in Oyo State, then, not now again, because after our governors that went to Abuja and he has had what he doesn't expect, I think all those propaganda about security challenge has already died down.
Okay, now let's talk about when we talk about insecurity in the state. There was a time when during the time of late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu in Oyo State, they came together, Southwest governors. They decided to establish the Amotekun Corps. Now, Amotekun Corps has been established, but the goal of this the establishment, has it been defeated? Are we saying what Amotekun Corps was actually initially meant to be doing in the state? Are we saying exactly that now?
I will tell you, yes, I will commend the Amotekun because they have been doing a real great job, because they have the challenges and people are going to ask questions. That was make them to be up to date in their activities. You know, when they started, they are dabbling into what they don't supposed to dabble in. And you have been seeing them shooting at will and killing some people. But now, when they've been held responsible, I think they have learned their lesson. They are present in any particular place at a point in time. Scares all these criminals. And you see, when you are talking about in about a place like UK, you have London police, you have Metropolitan Police, and you have the police. The Metropolitan Police are meant to secure the city, and you will see that at any corner you will be seeing the police vehicle going around at every 10-15 minutes. This alone scared all the criminals, even when they want to involve in activities. Why all those criminals continue doing whatever they are doing is because they are not being held responsible. If they are being held and probably jailed, many of them will desist from doing all this. So I think the Amotekun are doing what they are supposed to do, and since then we hardly hear anything about criminality. It is not as the way it was then. So they are coming together for this Amotekun. Yielded a lot of results.
Okay, now let's talk about infrastructure for security personnel in the state. There used to be a time when security operatives would cruise around town in trucks, in semi-trucks, mini trucks. Now we see them in exotic cars. Is this development or misplaced priority?
It's a misplaced priority. I will tell you something. It's a misplaced priority, and our government are not doing things right. You see, we cannot compare ourselves with Lagos State. Lagos have networks of good roads. A lot of places in Lagos are developed. When Lagos resort to using car, why will Oyo State be doing that? The time of late Governor Ajumabi, he procured a lot of these artillery vehicles. I'm talking about Jeep, because they knew the Oyo State architecture. A lot of places we have a lot of bad roads. We have a lot of probably villages, and everywhere you can be able to go to secure people. But when you are talking about this government, when they came in, what they bought is cars. And seriously, we don't need it. When you go and check all these cars now, a lot of them are just plastic cars that even to be able to replace their part, it's going to be very difficult because all those cars doesn't even have names. Go and ask if they have half of what they had when this administration commenced. And when you see all those vehicles late Ajumabi bought, a lot of them are still intact for this police, the Operation Burst. So I think it's a misplaced priority, and the government must be proactive and try as much as possible to be prudent in their spending.
Now, how would you rate the effectiveness of Operation Burst you just mentioned in Oyo State as you speak compared to what we used to have in Oyo State?
I would still commend all our security forces because they are doing great job, because they risk their life to be able to be facing all these criminals that we have everywhere in our state. I would just enjoy them to do more. But now, the case of this armed robbery strike from the banks, I think it has reduced drastically well in our state. I'm not saying it's in total, because and more so with these all these online transactions, it helps a lot because nobody is carrying cash. Even hardly will you see any bank having cash right now, because a lot of them, as it comes in, and they are spending it. So with the paucity of money we are having in the polity, when no much money is being printed, I think it helps a lot to really
curb insecurity.
Curb insecurity in Nigeria as a whole, when you are talking about armed robbery, and it's a welcome development for us as well.
Now to the big question today. The Oyo State Government under His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde announced that they procured 2 aircraft for 7.7 billion naira. When you heard of that story, what was your initial reaction to the procurement? And as it stands now, what's your reaction?
To me, it seems reckless and even wasteful.
That's a bold claim.
I am telling you. Because this government really takes us for granted. I think we are not living in the Stone Age. A lot of us are civilized and we were exposed. Now, when you are talking about the aircraft, we are waiting to see the aircraft. And I know many aircraft we are talking about are commercial. The way world is now advancing, nobody is going to be using aircraft to fight. We are not talking about country to country. We are talking about state to state, whereby our border cannot even be well defined. That is when you are going to see Oyo State and Oyo State, probably they are claiming a kind of dispute.
It's not a fighter jet. They are surveillance aircraft.
What are you going to survey? Intelligent collection is done by human being. Intelligence is done by human.
It can be done by human beings in a aircraft.
I am telling you sincerely, I have a friend that has challenge of being kidnapped around Lagos, Ibadan. And when the police are trying to find them, how will you tell me an aircraft is going to be able to see the underground, what is going on in the tree, under the tree? My friend told me that whenever they hear any sound, they are going to dodge under the tree. Oyo State is not a place that all our land is not cultivated. If you get to a place like UK, you will not find a kind of thick forest. All of them is going to be used for something, whether cultivated for animal husbandry or no. So I'm telling you, it is going to be hard for you to survey with aircraft. At this advanced age, people now use drone. Drone can bend and go under the tree. You know what I mean by drone?
Certainly.
You see, somebody can just be in the corner of his room and operating drone and do the surveillance.
You are saying the government should have invested in drones.
Drone is more better. We are not living in that age. And I am sure that aircraft is going to be using for campaign.
You are saying there's an ulterior motive.
I am telling you, you are going to see. That aircraft is going to be used for campaign when the election comes.
Are you saying
the aircraft that was not bought in about when even we are having the challenges of Elders Clash or whatever they are having in Okiogun or Ibarakpa is not bought around 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Is now being bought about a year or some few months to the election time, you will see that certainly is going to be used. And a lot of the sad part is that a lot of state are involved in this, in buying of aircraft. They have failed. Even Enugu State Government just procure aircraft because for commercial use, for business. Even if they run at loss, at least they knew that people can be conveyed from Abuja to Lagos. And that this is what they done when you are talking about Ibom, Akwa Ibom here or something like that.
Ibom here.
But why are we procuring it? We are not far from Lagos. We are. You see the humongous amount of money that's
7 billion
that even being spent on airport that belongs to the federal. It's not Oyo State airport.
But it's in Oyo State.
It might be in Oyo State. Let the federal government spend their money on it. It's like you are telling me Oyo State government is going to repair Ibadan Lagos expressway. You can see how laughable that can be.
Are you saying these repairs and procurements are just a wild goose chase?
I am telling you, they are white elephant project. I'm telling you, like all these light Oyo State that doesn't see the light of the day, that they are now replacing it with solar street light. You see, we are just used to wastefulness. This government is very used to wastefulness, and it's not good for your state.
Now, from governance standpoint, how important is this investment to the Oyo State government and to the people of Oyo State?
I'm telling you, it's wasteful. It's the same governor that was telling us that federal government is doing wild goose chase when you are talking about local government autonomy. That people are dying of hunger, and all what federal government can do is to disengage the local government from the state. Grabs. Now, who is making Oyo State to be poorer? Who is creating a kind of poverty in the state? We must ask those questions. This money can be used to cultivate a lot of land. All we heard about is Fashola farm, and there is no banana or maize that is coming from Fashola farm. It doesn't reduce the cost of maize or the cost of banana or the cost of cow or meat in the market.
Now, let me ask you this question. Should states be moving into aviation-related procurements independently, or should such efforts be better coordinated with the federal government? Linking that to the renovation of the airport.
No, even the federal government, all the federal government needs to do is to make the environment to be conducive. That is, they're just supposed to use it to make it to be conducive. All this belong to private individual who can be able to invest in it. It is not even about federal government. Federal government collect their money when any aircraft is leaving. They have tax, they have all this rate they are collecting. But state government doesn't have any business in doing that. The first person that I had in Southwest that invested in it was Fayoshi, and then he invested about 9 billion. And mind you, what happened is that Ekiti State doesn't have any kind of airport, any airport. And what is the result of it today? The money just went down the drain. Even what they have in Akure is not even fully utilizing it. Why do they have to do that in Ekiti State? So now, when you are talking about our state, how many? We have the proximity to Lagos, so people can rather be fly through their road, because now Lagos Ibadan road is very easy to go. People are now using train. They rather go to train station and bought a ticket for 12,000 or 15,000 and just go there majestically without any form of probably their scale of air crash. Or if you see the kind of people that patronizing this train station, you are going to be surprised. It is first class trains that goes to Lagos. All they do when they get there, they'll get you about to get to airport or anywhere they going. You are telling me I will just spend about 50,000, 60,000 to book an air flight 100,000 from here to Lagos? It is joke.
Okay, now basically, let me ask you this question because people are saying this already. I've read comments about this on some pages on social media overnight while I was studying for the show. Now, people are talking about the cost and long-term maintenance of these aircraft. Do you think the Oyo State government can effectively maintain this aircraft for as long as it is still available? Now, another thing is someone mentioned that is this not going to eventually be a tourist site for people to just go and take pictures if the government fail to be able to maintain them?
Something. It is bound to fail. This is not about being pessimist. It's about what has happened to some state in the time past. During the debate with Oyetola and Governor Adeleke, they asked about the Oyo State aircraft that was bought by Adegbeshola. They cannot find it today. And they spent a humongous amount of money to repair it. Not to procure it. To even repair it. And they don't even know where it is.
How tiny can an aircraft be?
You see, that is what I'm telling you. It is not about the 7.7 billion that is being used to procure it. What about the fueling? What about the maintenance? How much are they going to be spending on it every year? Let's be sincere with ourselves. When the Oyo State government said they are going to spend probably about 600 and something million or 500 something million on maintenance of this street light project that has been done. Do you know how much diesel they are going to be buying every day? It's a drain pipe. Pure and simple. It's a drain pipe to the ports of your state. Any government that is going to be prudent, that is going to be reasonable, should just scrap it. They are just going to scrap it. I'm telling you. A lot of dead aircraft there on a different runway of our airport. So let's be sincere with ourselves. It is. I don't think we are not going to. It is a just drain pipe.
In your opinion, how can the government ensure that this doesn't become another underutilized or mismanaged asset?
It's a mismanaged asset before. Imo here is no more. Osun aircraft cannot be found. I am telling you sincerely, this is just going to be for probably any successful government can be using it to campaign as well, but I think it's going to be used by politicians at the end of the day. It is not meant for the security or good people of your state, but just those who are in power. They are going to be the one that are using it.
So you are saying there is no way the government can make sure it's not an underutilized asset?
A lot of airlines in the world that are even being owned by government, they are going through a lot of challenge. British Airways is doing the same. I am telling you.
But those ones are commercial.
That's not the fact they are commercial. I'm just telling you because there are a lot of challenges. I'm saying it is not prudent enough, very accessible to be using aircraft for surveillance when we can use drone.
Some people say the government has no business in business, that they should only provide an enabling environment. Are you of the same school of thought?
Exactly. NNPC today, when they're in control, they are selling oil for all of us are going to be fighting ourselves to get to NNPC. Where are they today? Who goes to NNPC filling station to buy fuel? People are going to Bova. People are going to all those kind of filling stations they are very challenging. They can be able to compete in the market. Anything government lay their hand upon when it comes to commercial, it is forced. It is going to fail. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Government, the business of the government is for them to provide food for us so we can be able to eat belly full. That is why in a place like United States of America are really investing in wheat to the disadvantage of ILO, International Labour Organization. They are still selling it. The investment in wheat supposed to stay in US, but they are exporting it. Are you getting what I'm trying to say right now? But they want their people to eat first. That is it. The business the government has anything upon is to provide food on the table of its populace at a cheaper price. Now, not all these wastefulness when you are talking about commercial aircraft instead of civilian aircraft. We are waiting to see the picture.
Now, when government makes such a high-level investment, how important is public engagement and communication when this happens?
That is afterthought when it is being approved. Have you seen any time the government debated on any kind of step or policy you wanted to do? They don't. They don't test the water. The business, all of us are crying over what's it called? Fuel subsidy. This happened. I remember this happened during time of Babangida, and Babangida was the first person that started commercial transport throughout the whole federation. That is when we have TCTC in Oyo State. The first time we had it was during the time of Muhammad. What's it called? This man that was killed in what's it called? Muritala Muhammad. He did it in Lagos State for only Lagos. Babangida did it throughout the whole federation. We had TCTC in Oyo State. Now, late Ajumabi did Ajumose, and a lot of people are having. Why this aircraft? Why can't they buy buses?
This is for surveillance, not for
surveillance. Drone can be used. Something. Drone is more intelligent, it is more soft, it is more better. Who are those that are going to handle it? Police has helicopter. Whenever there is problem, when there is they have serious armed robbery in Lagos, they didn't buy helicopter. Lagos they didn't. He procured helicopter. He knew helicopter cannot do anything. What did he do? He bought all these armor carrier, and he knew wherever those people place. That is what Fashola did.
They are stationed at strategic locations.
And that is what Fashola did. Do you know what happened?
It happened in Oyo State, in the Jebodi, for example.
It was Fashola that started it. And what happened when you are talking about abroad? It abated. Because they knew it is not about a human being that is going to be doing the gunshot. Somebody is just going to be protected and is going to be firing them away. All of them ran away. They ran to Lagos. And they came to Oyo State. The Oyo State did it. Followed by Osun. When you are talking about the surveillance, intelligent collection from the people, it is the ultimate for any kind of intelligent collection. It is human being that is going to do it. They are going to be within the community and they are going to be asking questions.
Honorable Omolaja, let me ask you this question before we go. Do you think there is any chance that this project might be a success for your state?
Something. 99% guarantee, 120% guarantee is going to fail. I'm telling you.
You're 100% sure.
What are you? The maintenance. The maintenance is going to be ridiculous. A pipeline for corruption. And when people take advantage, what do you think happened to a presidential fleet of jets? When Buhari came, he reduces it. He reduced it. Because he knew people are eating from it. The same this Tinubu government said he doesn't want to be using electricity because he knew it's a pipeline for corruption. What did he do? He said they are going solar. And when you are talking about solar, it is more beneficiary to the environment, and it's something that you can be able to manage than spending money anyhow.
Do you think other state governments in Oyo State, in Nigeria, might follow the same trend just after Governor Sheba?
Anybody that does that trend knew that is going to be wasteful, and people will ask questions in the nearest future. I am telling you that. It has. I'm giving you some example. It happened in Oyo State. What comes out of it? They cannot even find it right now. So the money is gone. Oyo State, yes.
All right, Honorable Omolaja Adeoye, thank you for joining us. Olaoye, thank you for joining us in the studio this morning.
Thank you.
It has been a wonderful session with you.
Thank you for having me.
This conversation has not ended. We are still going to have something more interesting to talk about, especially when it comes to security and insecurity in the state and Nigeria at large.
No problem. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the big story for today. The skies above Oyo State may soon be watched more closely. But on the ground, the people still demand safety, stability, and transparency. Whether these aircraft become a game changer or just another government project will be determined by implementation, oversight, and the people's experience. Thank you for joining us on Daybreak Live here on Dominion Television. It has been The Big Story right here. Samson Balogun is my name. Until next time, keep asking the big questions because every story deserves to be told. Bye for now.